Hello everyone, this is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting, and welcome to day 12 of By the Wall for God's Equipped by Jesus. Now, day 12 I am so excited to finally hit because we're talking about the Sword of the Spirit, and I had purchased this wax seal stamp and it has a sword on it, and I've just been waiting and waiting for day 12 to pop up so I could finally use this wax seal. Now, I know many of you who follow me over on Instagram saw me when I purchased this and also asked for the link. And so I know that many of you actually have this same wax seal. And I did a couple different trial runs. Originally, I had done an Instagram reel where miraculously the first time I ever did it, I got the right shape and everything worked great. But this time I had a couple different tries and figured that I would lay the wax seal down to figure out how long I needed it. And also I tried to pour it in a rectangular shape. Doing this definitely gave me the best results. I also stamped it on a non-stick mat and left it there for a couple minutes to harden. And then I can just put my finger under it and kind of pop this thing off the non-stick mat. It worked great that way. Now, originally I had stamped it in some dark gold wax, and I was hoping you'd still be able to see the sword with this metallic Sharpie, but you couldn't really, and so that is why I changed it to this nice cream color, and I'm really glad I did. I really like the look of the neutral wax with the pop of the gold sword. So now that that's done, I'm going to turn my attention to working on the pocket card, which I've already typed up my verse, which is Hebrews 4:12, which says, "For the word of God is living and active, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing to the division of soul and of spirit, of joints and of marrow, and discerning the thoughts and intentions of the heart." I've decided to use this grungy damask print that was part of the paper pack, and I'm just gluing that down on top of my pocket card. This will make it also a little bit more sturdy. Now, I don't know about you, but I have this little tray in my craft room that holds all these little bits and pieces that have come from other projects, stuff that I don't want thrown away and that I could possibly use in a different project. And so today I'm kind of raiding that tray. So I have this little doily die cut. This is just half a doily that I cut out with my Big Shot machine for another hymn study card that I was working on. And I decided this would be a really cool background to add. It kind of goes along with that damask print, so I'm going to glue that down first. And I'm also going to grab one of those labels from By the Wall for God, thread it through my typewriter, and add Sword of the Spirit. Now, I know I won't be able to use that whole label, so I'll move it over to the left-hand side of this card. I also have this little piece of sheet music from that tray, and I have a little piece of crocheted lace on the bottom. So I'm trying to make a cluster like I would on a normal Bible journaling page. Obviously, this is going to be much smaller, but that was my thought process for this card. So I'll use my Barely Arts precision glue to start laying down these layers. Now, I do know that I want to add some more to this cluster, but I'm just not sure yet of what that entails. And so instead, I just decided to go with it and start laying stuff down. A lot of times I like to have a plan, but sometimes you just have to kind of go with the flow and just start putting stuff down. It kind of helps you just have to make a decision. So that is what my process was today, is just start laying everything down, and we'll figure it out when we get to it. Now, since everything else on this tag is dirty and antique looking, I can't forget about distressing this label. Just a little bit of frayed burlap and rubbing that in really helps. And I'll add this on top of that sheet music. I am covering a little bit of it up, but no worries. I kind of like that look. And I added it to the side so you can still see the corner of the sheet music as well. So now I am going to try to work on getting the placement right for this wax seal. I want it part of the cluster, but I also want it to be, the focal point of the whole card. And so I want something on the edge of it to kind of bring your eye up and over to it. And so these little Currator snippet pieces from Tim Holtz really help. There's so many little snippets in each pack. You're sure to find something that will work. And so at first I tried one, but then I definitely want to bring that kind of down so it is more of a cluster look. And so I add another second piece, and I'm going to staple those together. Now, I forgot to distress the second one, so you're going to see me try to kind of fuss with that because I don't want one to be distressed and then not have the next one. So you'll see me tuck that in, and then I'm actually going to take my scissors and try to kind of roughen up the edges of it and also add a little bit of distressing. Now, honestly, it is such a tiny piece that would anyone notice besides me? Probably not, but I will. And so that is why I just decided to do this. Adding a little piece of paper underneath really helps so I don't get frayed burlap everywhere. And then I want to add something of a border, something to darken up the outer corners. And so I grab the distress ink I have in black soot, and I'm just going to add a little bit of a deepening on the edges. This kind of really completes the card. I'm not sure why, but it just kind of pulls everything together and makes your eye drawn to the center. So now I will work on placing this wax seal. I decided just to use my Barely Arts glue. I do use a fair amount of it, and I'm just going to place it down and hold it there for a couple seconds. It's at this point that I realize I think it's missing something up at the top, and I also wanted to add something else that was metallic on this card. So I grab a mini clip. It is not holding anything, but it does kind of complete that top portion of the card. I also don't want to forget to add the day number to the back side of this card, so I grabbed these clear alphas and I'll spell out the word 12 because there is no numbers on these clear alpha stickers, and so that kind of helps and it fits perfectly in this little spot. After that, this pocket card will be complete. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me over on Instagram at Wonderfully Made Handcrafting. I'll try to link everything I use down below in the description, and if you missed day 11's process video, I'll link that one next. I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.